Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Ultimatum Season 3, Episode 10, The Reunion.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate this season, Blair?
4.
2. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. I'm almost prepared. Only 3 seasons. I'm ready to say throw away the show. That's how bad this season was to me, but let's go.
So we start with Mariah and Caleb. They are still engaged. They took a road trip. They're enjoying each other, enjoying life.
Yeah.
They are planning on having a destination wedding summer of 2026. They took the time after the show to just rebuild from a healthy space.
Okay.
Now we get into the drama.
Okay, what's the drama?
Aria brings up how Caleb has been watching her stories, liking some of her pictures, and Caleb says he watches Zaynah's stories and likes her stuff too.
Okay.
Aria talks about how he blocked, then unblocked her. He's giving off mixed signals. If y'all are engaged and happy, then why y'all over here on my page? She feels that Mariah and Caleb were not genuine during the process. Aria says that you called, talking to Mariah, you called him every night in our experience. Y'all talked on the phone for like 2 hours. It looks like you didn't trust him. And Mariah explains that the blocking, unblocking is news to her, as well as the watching of the stories. She thinks that Caleb needs to be honest about the emotional connection that he's refusing to admit. She felt blindsided when she actually did see that the chemistry that they had on camera. Scotty says that he was always honest with Aria about where he stood in his connection with Zaynah. Mariah just wanted validation for what she could sense. He was dismissing things, but Aria was being truthful.
Okay.
Mariah knows, she knew what she was getting into. He still never admitted to anything, even over a year of them being engaged, and it upset and hurt her.
Yeah.
Caleb comes clean. His mistake was if he didn't allow a romantic connection to develop, he wasn't crossing any boundaries. That was his perspective. He never admitted to the emotional connection because he didn't want to admit it to himself.
Okay.
He should have been more transparent when it came to their connection. Aria, at the end of it, could tell that Caleb was putting Mariah first.
What is your thoughts? Because I'm about to go in.
Aria, you just sound bitter.
You sound crazy.
You just sound bitter. You sound upset because they're engaged, they're getting married. That Caleb don't want you. He didn't want you. And even when he was having this connection with you, he still didn't want you. And for you saying that he always put Mariah first, yeah, because he was never trying to get with you for real.
She talking out of both sides of her mouth.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is that I can see where Aria would be, I wouldn't say confused because she knows that Mariah's first, but basically if you don't want me and you don't really want to be connected with me, Mariah said that we can't be friends, why are you on my page?
I don't know. I'm not buying
The
that.
reason I agree with that is because Mariah didn't know about the blocking and unblocking. She didn't know he was watching her stories. To me, Mariah probably didn't want him to have anything to do with Aria. So if you're respecting your partner and the fact that you guys had this trial marriage, we finished the process, we are working on our relationship and our marriage, there's no reason to go back to someone that you had a connection with and entertaining them online. It's just kind of, it's not the same, but it's along the lines of, why are you texting this person?
It's not though.
To me, it's like texting is like up here, and then being like all over their like stories and liking their stuff is probably a tier below. And I'm just saying that if y'all are really focused on yourselves, then you really don't need to be concerned about what Aria is doing. Allow that line to be a strong line.
Now, the reason why I can see why you say what you said is because Mariah is so, in her emotions, can sometimes be unhinged and sometimes can overthink.
Yeah.
Right? So for you, I can understand the stance that you're taking of, it's just best if you not to do it. Just stay away from it if you really value Mariah, if you really value the relationship. Let me tell you about this Aria girl over here, right? Let's not forget that she said in this scene that it was evident in the relationship during the trial that he put Mariah first and that Mariah was basically his intention, right? She said that at the reunion. She said every night that she would call and they would talk on the phone for hours and things like that, right? Or basically, they stayed in communication. Let's go back to that episode where she tried to plant seeds of doubt in Mariah's head.
Yeah.
So, you knowing that he put Mariah first, right? you knowing that they talk on the phone all the time, right? But at the same time, Mariah don't have the POV of what's going on behind the scenes. So when it's girls' night, you choose that time to plant seeds of doubt, knowing that what he told you in private, that's really what he feels. But Aria comes off as Blair said, bitter, and I would say, girl, get up and tuck in your shame, right? Now, when it comes to social media and things of that nature, right? Texting and social media are two different things, right? I have to say that when it comes to social media, especially with this cast, there is I don't want to say friendship, but when y'all go through something together, like all of y'all follow each other and things of that nature, and y'all just become castmates. The thing about it, just something as simple as this: Z is friends with Alex from Love Is Blind now because they all under that umbrella of the whole
Netflix.
Exactly. And the Love Is Blind, the same producers, whatever, right? So it's like, it is, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it is regular for me to follow my castmates and for me to like basically like a story and things of that nature, right? Now, to me, I took it as he's liking the story or even viewing the story and liking the pictures and things like that as a friend. That's how I took it, right? When it comes to Instagram and stories and things of that nature, right? It could say that I viewed the story, but I didn't. I could just really scroll past it, and it will say that I viewed it, right? But I agree to your point of, hey, Mariah is emotional. She overthinks. It's probably best that you just stay away from her, right? But this whole, like, cause one thing I do agree with Caleb, which he said is not true. I do not believe that he blocked Aria and unblocked her. I don't believe that. If that's the case, Aria, why are you looking for me?
I know. What you hawking for?
Yes. So like you knew that you was blocking, unblocked Aria. You came off for one. You tried to lie during the girls' night, and now that we go find out about your situation, and you want to make it seem like, say you like me. Say you like me. Say you love me, because you ain't gonna make me feel like what I felt was not real. No, you felt what you felt because you was dating someone from hell.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And all I did was show you niceness and be kind to you and talk to you, not at you. And because of that connection, that's why she kept saying, I wish you was like Scott. I wish Scotty was like you. That's all she kept saying throughout the whole trial marriage with Caleb. It was that, oh, I wish Scotty can listen like you. I wish Scotty can talk like you, be nice like you. I'm paraphrasing, but you get what I'm saying. So she just wants some validation that I did not just feel. I know you felt something. I know you felt something. Please say you felt something. And listen here, when it comes to guys, I understand that Caleb seems like the type of person that's not confrontational. So he's like the type of person to be like, look, as long as it wasn't romantic to me, it probably was something, but I figured if I didn't cross that line of being romantic, it was nothing. Maybe I should have been more transparent. I'm going to translate for Caleb. Caleb did not want a relationship with you, nor did he feel an emotional connection to you, Aria, right? When it comes to guys, I'm telling y'all, do not, follow his actions and what he say, right? He did not choose you, Aria, so don't make it seem like he was lying and basically he has some alternative motives behind his decision when it comes to him and Mariah. I ain't like that from Aria. Aria, I wanted you to be a little bit more confident in yourself, you know?
Yeah. So we get to Aria and Scotty.
Yeah.
She said yes during the engagement. It was a very emotional moment.
Yes, it was.
He was giving her the reassurance that she always wanted. However, they are not engaged anymore.
Yeah.
She realized that she made a mistake pretty quickly after. The next day, literally, they tried living together for a little bit, but things did not work out.
Yeah.
She didn't want to call her family to say that they were engaged, and that is really what caused her to break off the engagement.
Wow. She didn't want to call her family to let them know one of the most happiest, or should be one of the happiest moments in her life.
Because she knew it was a mistake.
Because she knew it was wrong.
She said that if they didn't do therapy, that they were done.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do therapy, at least when she asked for it, and things ended.
Yeah.
He doesn't love her the way that she wants to be loved.
Yeah.
Well, Scotty says that when he proposed, he made a mistake. The mistake was telling her everything she wanted to hear, and that caused her to make an emotional decision. He wanted to show her that he would always love her and be there for her. He clarifies that he did go to therapy, but it wasn't on her time. He went like a year later.
Why a year later, Scotty?
She says that, he's giving a lot of excuses, not taking accountability. Just say sorry for taking so long. Scotty apologizes for not going to therapy sooner, but he feels like a lot of context is missing. So he doesn't want to reveal the context because it's sensitive information, but she reveals that her grandmother passed away and she also went through a miscarriage. Scotty got them an apartment. He moved to San Francisco. He did a lot to show her that he was there for her. And Vanessa says to Scotty, well, it appears that you are aware of her needs, but you're just not giving her what she's needing. Scotty says that it's demoralizing to try to give someone everything they want, but what you're giving isn't good enough. They asked Zaina her thoughts and observations, and Zaina says that Scotty has a hard time with rejection, and it seemed like in that moment Arya didn't want to reject him. Scotty says that Arya broke his heart. He prays this isn't the end of their story, but it's probably best that they are single.
You are smart, Blair. What do you think happened?
Specific to what?
Specific to the whole, I said yes to the proposal, right? From the time she said yes to the time she said no. What do you think happened?
I think Scotty started acting like Scotty again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
If he would have stayed positive and pouring on her of how great she was and how he was really changed and different and all that type of stuff, she probably wouldn't have still told her family, but she probably would have let the engagement last a week at least.
At least a week.
But no, Scotty started acting like Scotty. He started arguing with her.
He started talking. Listen to what he said. That Blair told us. He said the problem or the issue that I did or what I did wrong was that I was telling her everything that she wanted to hear. You don't feel like you love her?
Some people might consider that love bombing.
No, it is love bombing.
Yeah.
You know, like so the things that she wants to hear based on what we reviewed throughout the season was you give her some nice words, you know, just some pleasantries. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Something as simple as the banter. That's something that she was talking about. Can we just talk and just vibe and not just like heavy, like you're just talking at me, telling me everything I did wrong, right? Because I remember that episode to where he talked to her about the physical touch and how she need to try, right? And then when she actually came back later on that episode and tried, he still tore her down. And he was like, and she basically broke down in tears saying, I'm trying. You get what I'm saying? So you don't reassure her of anything. So what is this thing that you telling her that she wants to hear that you don't really feel like you should give her? Confidence? Love? Peace even? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, the fact that you even try to manipulate the proposal of basically like, you know what? You are not someone that I just want to live with. You are someone that I can't live without. And I'm just like, well, obviously that's not true, because based on the actions that you have displayed, she said, can we go to therapy? Right? And you said no, right? Instead, you say yes a year later about when it's time to come back into the limelight, right, to basically cover your tracks as if you're a good guy.
Like, I did go 2 weeks ago.
Come on now. Stop it, man. And then when it's time to actually take accountability for not going, you still don't take accountability, to where she got to be in tears and basically talking about some, like, can you take accountability for once? It's not always me. Stop making it seem like, Scotty, that I give her everything. I moved to San Francisco even though I didn't want to. It's always like a backhanded, like, look what I did, even though I didn't want to. And I did all these things, and it's like, it's just never enough. You don't know how demoralizing it is to give everybody everything, or to give a person everything, and it's still not enough. You did not give her everything because you did not even go to therapy.
Well, I guess my thing with Scotty, though, is that he is talking about how much he would be there for her and will be around her and just will never leave her. It's just like, look, dude, I don't want somebody who is rude to me around me all the time.
Facts.
He's like, I will never leave her. I'll be beside her, but you be yelling at her the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Scotty. Like, nobody wants somebody who's unpleasant to be around. It doesn't matter if you move to San Francisco, you hollering in my ear.
Yeah, man.
Okay? Back up. And so then that's what frustrates me with Arya as well, is because, girl, like, you clearly see that he is awful to be around.
Yeah.
So you giving him chances after chances because she loves the man. Is this her first boyfriend or
something? It must be
like,
something. I don't know what it is.
It feels like it's her first something, because it's like after your first breakup, like
it gets way
easier to break up with people. So I'm like, this man must have been her first everything.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know the timeline, so take what I'm about to say with a pinch of salt. When I say take it with salt, take it with a pinch of salt, right? You said yes to a proposal, right? The next day, you basically said, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have did this. So the proposal is now gone. Instead, you like, we should go to therapy. He says no, right? And it's somehow, some way, there's a baby involved? Potential baby involved?
Yep.
What are we doing, Aria?
Yeah. Just being young and dumb.
And listen here. Respect to everybody who basically go through the miscarriage and things like that. It wasn't until I became of age, like 16, 17, 18, that I didn't realize how common that was. So, like, you know, prayers to everybody who goes through that and have to basically get themselves out of that, like, you know, rut of basically, like, that emotional trauma.
But the fact that she was exposing
That's
herself
what I'm saying.
to being tied to this man
That's what I'm saying.
For life. Beyond a marriage, I mean, you can get a divorce, but you having a child with this baby, like, he's gonna be around.
Come on,
you know, and it really is sad that she would have allowed herself to be in that position.
And that's what I'm like.
But the miscarriage is sad as well.
Yeah,
so,
you know, it's all sad, right? Your grandmama passed, you know, R.I.P. and things of that nature. But I'm just like, girl, take your reset and use it. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is a clean slate, and this is a time for you to actually, like, Control Alt Delete. You get what I'm saying? Start over. You get what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. So we move on to JR and Zaina.
They
moved out, went their separate ways after the ultimatum.
Yeah.
She wanted to go back to dating. This is all JR's perspective at this point.
She
wanted to go back to dating and ignore the experience. She was upset that they didn't spend Christmas together. Zaina says, we did spend Christmas together.
Okay.
And we did exchange gifts.
I forgot.
JR said that she was upset that they needed to take time apart. She didn't think they should talk to the opposite sex. And he told her that if she finds someone else during the time that we're apart, that's fine with him. Zaina clarifies that we moved out of the same apartment, but we moved across the street from each other. And we talked every night. They celebrated his birthday today. He got a Four Seasons massage and a steak. Zaina, that's on you, girl.
Listen here. It's funny because Zaina thinks she's eating right now.
But the thing is, JR said, well, I didn't ask for that, but you accepted it.
Why would I not accept it? It's my birthday. It's a free steak.
Well, that just shows you how much of an a-hole he is. If he really cared about this girl and cared about setting boundaries, like he was saying that he was trying to, the thing is, like, he's a liar because he's talking about how he wanted to set boundaries, but you accept the Four Seasons massage and a steak. You ain't trying to set boundaries for real. And Zaina, stop giving so much to people who don't care about you.
I said that all through the season. And I want to know who moved across the street. Was it you, Z?
Okay.
Because my thing is, he told you at the ultimatum that he wants to be single.
Yep.
But go ahead.
So they were in a gray area, she says. She asked, what are we doing? She was trying to get some clarification, some closure. He needed time to process, and he didn't want to be in a relationship. He is saying that he is still processing to this day.
Yes, I am. a year or so later, right? Because he like, you know what? My birthday coming up again.
Yes.
And like, you know, that steak was good.
Exactly.
You know?
So he asked her to go out for her birthday, then flaked on her. And JR was like, yeah, because I was sick.
I was sick.
Didn't try to make it up or nothing.
Why? That's not my girl.
Right. She ended up needing to focus on herself and being open to love. She didn't respect how JR refused to give her closure for a 3-year relationship. He told her they were really broken up after the decision.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where the hostility is coming from. He's still processing things, and they never put a timeline on closure. Okay. He has been working on himself.
I understand.
He has a lot of love for her, and she's doing well in life, and he's happy for her. Well, Zaina says now she can see the red flags in him. He never had any intention of proposing.
No.
Agreed. A day before the experience, she got DMs from a woman where he was flirting with her, and he said that it was Photoshop. Why would somebody Photoshop JR? What is JR a celebrity that I didn't know about?
Now he is. Listen here.
Why would somebody want to Photoshop JR flirting with them? Zaina, you was being dumb.
I'm gonna say it was AI.
Okay.
Okay.
And she said to him, why do the same thing that you were upset that your ex-wife did? Nick asked if he saw himself getting back with Zaina, and he says it's a possibility they could get back together. Depends on if he could find somebody better.
Yeah.
Zaina tells him that the door is fully closed. She calls him a liar and a con artist. Y'all said you kissed twice. Y'all kissed more than that. And y'all put it out there that you guys weren't really into each other as much as you actually were.
Yeah.
And then she brings up how Nick thinks that they may have slept together. And Nick explains that the thought was there, watching it back, if maybe Nick and Zaina weren't there, it might have progressed to that. As far as I'm concerned, it did. They knocked the boots a few times.
I don't think they did.
I believe they did. Sandy says nothing transpired past the kiss, and JR talks about how he forgot about the third kiss.
I forgot. And the fourth.
Yes. Well, JR apologizes to Zaina for making her feel this way. He wanted to treat both trial marriages like a real marriage, which he did.
Yeah.
And Nick knows that there was chemistry between JR and Sandy, and we just don't know what was happening behind closed doors. Sandy acknowledges that the chemistry was very flirty.
Yeah.
She came into this feeling neglected in her relationship. She was happy to just have fun. That's why it came across as unserious. Zaina wishes that they would have been honest. However, Sandy falsely tried to say that it wasn't what it was when she didn't even ask her. She said, Sandy, you really could have just been quiet. You really didn't have to say nothing to me for real.
That's facts.
Sandy admits that she did reassure Zaina when she shouldn't have, but he loved her. He spoke highly of her, and they talked about their partners the whole time they were together. While they were sucking face, sorry.
Yeah. What is your thoughts on all of this? That Z was basically doing whatever she called herself doing.
Yeah, honestly, I'm glad that Zaina spoke up and spoke out, but it's just kind of hard to feel like you're standing on business when you over here buying steaks.
Yeah.
So, and I understand she said they were in a gray area, and I'm just like, don't allow somebody to put you in a gray area.
Come on.
Either you're together or you're not.
And he said, I'm single.
And he said he's single. So if y'all single, y'all don't need to be doing Christmas together. Y'all don't need to be getting steaks and massages together. And you don't need to be accepting birthday outings from him. Go with your sister. She seems like a fun time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not coming at Zaina necessarily, but she's saying that, oh, things were a lot more confusing when we left than he likes to admit. And to me, that's on both of y'all. So
yeah, and I appreciate Blair for not coming at Z, because I'm about to come 100% at Z. This gray area, you picked up the crayon and colored it gray. He told you, I don't want to marry you.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. The ultimatum is an extreme way to better your relationship.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm going to get in a trial relationship with a stranger and then get back with the person I came with, hoping that at the end we can have some type of proposal. He did not say that I feel like this experiment is making me closer to marriage, but I don't want to be married now. Can we go back home and work on this? No. He said, I'm leaving here single, right? So it was you, because he had the last word that said, I'm leaving here single. So it was you who picked up the crayon and colored it gray. I see a lot of people online talking about, Z did that. Z did nothing, right? The whole point of the whole moving across the street. Why would you move across the street? Why do y'all live that close to each other?
Exactly.
Why? Where's your self-esteem? Girl, get up.
Okay.
Girl, get up.
All right, Sarah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, why would you move across the street, right? Why would you even, like she said, like, I know y'all saw the little birthday thing I threw for him on the show, but I had a whole big birthday celebration for him outside the show.
Like,
why?
Why, girl?
Girl, get up. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then on top of that, we spent Christmas together, And he said, no, we didn't. And she said, yes, we did. Why you want that news out there?
Yes.
We already know that JR, something is not right in his head.
And she want to be with him still.
It's crazy.
I'm just like, what is going on? Maybe not now, but for a while there, you was doing everything to try to win this man back. Like,
exactly.
What is going on?
And JR answer questions as if it's multiple choice. As if it's A, B, C, or D. He don't have no free-flowing conversation or anything like that. So he's willing to not even admit that he spent time with you on Christmas. And you're like, yes, we did. And matter of fact, I took you out for a steak dinner and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then when it was time for me, you were sick or whatever. It's like, do you hear yourself? You sound thirsty. For you to look the way that you look, right? Trust me, I think that Z looks way better, 100 times better than Sandy, right? And for you to watch back
Gorgeous girl.
Right? Mm-hmm. Watch back how he was basically praising, throwing roses at Sandy, basically. Why would you even want to come on the show and admit that, like, we're in a gray area and there's closure that needs to happen, that I was confused because of JR? No, you was confused because you wanted to be confused. Yeah. You wanted to be with JR for whatever reason, that he praises your esteem or whatever, that you moved across the street. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. But let's keep going.
So Nick and Vanessa asked, do we want to find out who said that JR was here for a hall pass? JR immediately says, no, it's not. It don't matter.
I wonder why, JR. I wonder why, because you was willing to have attitude on men's night, but why don't it matter now?
So Zaina has text proof of a message, a chip on her nail, folder called receipts, to where she has a text message between her and JR, basically coming to the point that Zaina wasn't the one who told him. Honestly, y'all, I couldn't make sense of the text message. I couldn't make sense of it, and either. I wasn't going to think too hard about it. Me neither. So we're moving on to the fact that we look at the clips, they roll the reels, and JR is the one who said, I'm here for a hall pass.
Now listen here, right? Right? The way he said it, he said something.
He said it to Micah.
He said it in a way, the way that JR tried to explain it was, y'all taking it out of context, right? We saw it, right? Even the context that I believe he said it in, is still wrong, right? Because I know the context that everybody hear it, but even the other context is still wrong.
Can you explain the other context? I only know one.
The other I saw it as him. He was talking to Micah. First of all, I thought this was a red flag right here. I thought the conversation in general was a red flag because he asked Micah, "Did you see the ultimatum?" Right?
Yeah.
So now you have people basically talking about the show. Basically like, oh yeah, I seen season 1 and things like that. Micah said I never saw it and things like that.
Also, the people that he was talking about that he liked, they ended up sleeping with the partners, and I think I don't remember. I think leaving with different people. But go ahead.
So that's so that's what I'm talking about, right? So I saw him saying it as a way of, I'm trying to get one of those hall passes, as a joke, and I'm just like, why joke? Exactly. Like that. You get what I'm saying?
He thought he was with his bestie.
But with a stranger. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, I saw it as just guy talk and just basically just shooting the ish. And I was like, don't do that.
Yes.
Especially if it's something as serious as, hey, a girl brought you on here because she wants to marry you, and you're talking to a complete stranger, talking about past seasons of the Ultimatum, so it kind of gives off the behind the scenes that you know the show and how the show works, and then you want to reference the people that slept with other people.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So, but the thing about it is, does that change how we think or what we think about JR? No. It makes me look at Z like, hey Z, you still got this man, this mark on you to the point where you got the QR code on your nails.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You thought you ate. You thought you ate. His mark is still on you.
Yeah.
His sin is still on you. You get what I'm saying? It's not, listen, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that you thought you ate and you thought you was exposing JR, but it'd be something totally different if we already thought JR was a good, outstanding guy. We don't.
Yeah.
Now you just look like you're doing too much now. You get what I'm saying? What is your thoughts, if you have anything to add about that?
Nothing else really to add. I mean, this just gives more validity to the fact that JR is a mess. So moving on, Sandy says that you lead with that stuff, but it can come across, a certain way. It was hurtful to her to hear him talk about giving a white girl a try and one night stand comments and stuff like that. And then she starts tearing up. I don't believe none of Sandy's tears.
Shut up, please.
JR talks about how he wasn't the only one being flirtatious. Vanessa says, well, you said you were here for a hall pass. That's when he talks about it was taken out of context. He wasn't really here for a hall pass.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, Vanessa and Dave come in.
Yeah.
Vanessa talks about how Nick texted her asking for a resolution, and Nick said, I just wanted you to clear things up in general, not necessarily for me. It might clear things up for me, but I'm just like, okay, Nick, like
Nick,
relax.
For one, it's not even the text that quote unquote, maybe I'm gonna let you finish it because I'm kind of confused by like that whole texting thing.
Vanessa thought they had a bond at first, but after moving in, there were things that made her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He pulled her to different areas where there weren't cameras or mics to have certain conversations with her.
Yeah.
She doesn't think that he accepted that he has a lot of work to do to work through his trauma. Well, Nick knows specifically what she's talking about. He says that he was really affected by Sandy and JR being together. They were literally over his head in the apartment they were staying in, and he was coping with drinking a lot. Vanessa saw the spiral, and she asked if he wanted advice or a sounding board. He would lash out on her. He talks about how he was there for her when she was feeling down about Dave, and she says, well, I accepted the things you were telling me. You were being mean to me when I was trying to be there for you.
You was a drunkard. You know what I'm saying?
Vanessa left without telling him because they fought that entire day. He would turn things on her whenever the cameras weren't rolling, and she felt like she didn't owe him anything.
She didn't.
Dave felt that the experience was unnecessary. He realized that she was his person, and he didn't think Nick threatened him.
Okay.
Sandy was upset when Vanessa left Nick because, of course, they all signed up for it, so it changed the group dynamic. Yeah. And Nick says that it was the worst thing he went through, but he's now in a good place. Both Vanessa and Dave are at a new level in the relationship, and he has taken her ring shopping.
So not engaged, same level. Not new level, not married, same level. This time, I'll let you look at some rings, right? First of all, I feel like the foundation of why, for one, don't bring if they. Two things. In the contract, you can't leave the show, and if you leave the show, you cannot come on TV. I'm done with people leaving the show and sending statements or sending them back. I don't care, right? Because Vanessa's basically, her whole problem with Nick is that you ruined my experience, right? That's basically her whole beef with Nick.
Yeah.
And with the whole thing of like, while what is her man name? Dave. While Dave was there thinking that he gonna be a piece of meat and everybody gonna want him, now he's all of a sudden was like, you know what? We did not need that experiment. While we saw in the show, she was like, I'm excited about the trial. I'm ready to do it. So when she went in with the excitement, and then she realized that she's with an emotional drunk that yells at her every now and then, she's like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I do respect Nick for apologizing. For at least being emotional and things like that, but that don't take away the accountability that, hey, Nick, you need some help. You don't need Sandy. You need help, right? But the whole thing that I was confused about was she tried to make it seem like Nick still reaching out to me for some type of like resolution. I was like, what do you mean by that? And I wonder, is it he's reaching out to you a year later because the show finally came out and he see how he acted? To get some type of closure with that, because I don't think he was reaching out to you trying to, like, with no alternative motives. I don't know.
No, I think the reason he was reaching out because the reunion was coming up. And he was asking her to be, like, open and honest and really, like, you know, to get to the bottom of things or whatever the case may be. And that's why he reached out to her.
Okay. Anything else you have to add on the scene?
Nope.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yep. Sandy and Nick. After the experience, he said he really wasn't ready to propose.
Yeah.
He was reaching for a piece of paper, not a ring. He talks about how he was drinking a lot. It scared him. He ended up going to rehab. And Sandy took him to rehab, but within his first week of being there, she decided she didn't want to continue in the relationship. Ever since then, she's been vacationing, living her life. And Sandy says that they did break up at the Ultimatum. She didn't go through this sustained relationship after, but love was never the issue with them. She just saw that they were not life partners for each other. We saw him go over to the apartment where they were, tried to infiltrate their experience. And Sandy said that every day it has been like that, even for the past year past the show. Like, he has been doing a lot.
Wow.
He knows that he got in the way. JR and Sandy have not spoken or seen each other since the experience. Sandy says, you know, and then Zaina pops up and is like, y'all haven't spoken at all, not even happy birthday, Merry Christmas. And Sandy was like, well, we talked to check in. And Zaina doesn't understand why JR would lie about that.
Oh, Zaina, relax. Like if all they talked about was happy birthday and happy holidays, don't make it seem like you the one buying state dinners.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, whatever Sandy's doing don't cost her anything outside of her phone bill. You buying steak dinners and throwing parties for the guy that said no to you and said, I'm single.
Well, the thing with Zaina, like, I don't mind her calling him out on that just because you're not being honest. You guys did share text. But I will say, Zaina, if you are, like, going with the fact that JR is this horrible person and you're totally over him, then you shouldn't be knowing what text messages he's getting.
Come on.
You know? So it's just like a double-edged sword. Mariah says that Nick wasn't ready for marriage. He said that you have to be careful to fall in love with the artist. He would be great for the right person, and he is with someone right now who accepts him for who he is. And to me, when Nick says people accept him for who he is, that means that they allow him to be this
crazy
traumatic,
guy,
crazy person.
Hopefully he's not.
It's just like, Nick, just because somebody is with you, it doesn't mean they want the terrible parts of you. Be a better person.
Yeah.
Okay. Zaina froze her eggs. She still thinks that JR is a good human, but what she knows now is completely opposite of who he showed himself to be. I don't know how you could figure he's a good human. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. He comes across as a liar. So like, how do you know what's really real and what's not?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
But she's saying he's such a great human. Maybe that's the part of her that wants to be with him still. I don't know.
Really?
Well, I would say I don't think she wants to be with him still now, but she wants to have this got you moment with him when it's just like, look, the guy's awful. You called it out, but it's just kind of like he has shown himself to be awful. You know what I'm saying?
He has not changed one bit.
Yeah.
No, from the first time he was introduced on the show to now, there is no gotcha moment. The only gotcha moment is you're the one that's gotcha. You get what I'm saying? Because you're the one that's still over here talking about he's a good human. And guess what? She even said at the end of this, we both will go to our separate houses across the street from each other. You gonna be over there.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Pop locking, whatever you're doing or call yourself doing over there.
And he like helped her with her injections for like her frozen eggs and all this type of stuff. And I'm just like, so what are you doing? Like, what are we doing here?
Exactly. So it's like, obviously, like that gray area, every time he makes it clear, here's the thing about it. I think Z is doing what a lot of people go find themselves hurt at the end of basically, let's say JR is talking to somebody else. Let's say he's just talking to somebody, right? I think she go always view herself, well, I am the main. You know, I don't care what girlfriend you got on the side. I always can come in and have a key to your spot, and you can, you know what I mean? Like basically we tight, we friends and stuff like that. Like, so I think she's coloring that gray area purposely. Because truth be told, if you didn't want anything to do with him, you would have moved as far away as you can.
That's what I was going to say. She wants to keep the connection.
Exactly.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. What did you think overall of the reunion?
It was kind of anticlimactic. The only part that was cool to see is that JR was the one who said he was here for a hall pass. But other than that, I felt like everyone's character shone through.
There we go.
Shown through the season. So I didn't really learn anything or gain any new closure. It was nice to hear Arya broke up with Scotty, but she still loved that man, and I think they could get back together, which is sad.
That's crazy.
Which is sad.
One thing I picked up was during the end of the reunion, guess what Arya did as soon as it was over? Beeline straight to Mariah. What do you got to talk to Mariah about?
Yeah.
What do you got to talk to Mariah about? So it's like, I think this was a bad season. That's why it was a kind of anticlimactic reunion. The ladies, y'all embarrassed yourself this season. Z, you embarrassed yourself. Arya, you embarrassed yourself. Mariah, I don't think you care if you embarrass yourself. You feel a lot. And you live in that. Sandy, you are an embarrassment. Vanessa, you are an embarrassment. I just think like it was a bad season for my sisters. You get what I'm saying? And hopefully y'all can do better. And thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sticking around. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Let us know what y'all think about this season. Give us the rating of 1 to 10 what this season was and tell us what you think. Anything else?
That's it.
We see y'all.
Bye.